Hello everybody, my name is Patrick Courtney and today I'm going to show a game between Praggnanandhaa and Magnus Carlsen. Praggnanandhaa is a white and Magnus Carlsen is a black. And what to say about these two players? Everybody knows that Magnus Carlsen is one of the best chess players of all times. He is absolutely amazing and up to me he's the best chess player of all times. Maybe not, maybe yes. Of course, you will tell me Alekhine and Karpov and Kasparov and Bobby Fischer, but up to me, Magnus Carlsen is best of all. But at the other side, young prodigy Praggnanandhaa is a new generation of chess stars. One day, Magnus Carlsen will become older and older and he will retire of his best chess positions and he will never ever be world #1, and someone from Alireza Firouzja or Praggnanandhaa or anybody else will be new world chess champion. And for this reason it's interesting to see another game, Magnus Carlsen against young stars. So Magnus is a black and Praggnanandhaa is a white. We are going to watch a green-file defense, and a green-file defense is of course interesting chess opening. What's going on? I think that white is enjoying strong pawn center, and this is nice to him. Black is enjoying dynamic chess of play. Of course, black will do his best to destroy this pawn center, and he will play moves like c5. What's really important is to bring his dark squares bishop on g7 to much more powerful position. So he need to open this diagonal and he need to play dynamic chess. If black will not be able to play dynamic chess, he will face problems because the center is important. So both players need to be active, need to fight, and that's exactly what we are looking for if we are looking for nice and interesting chess game. Unfortunately, this opening it's a huge. In case of theory, 20 moves is nothing here, and the best players need to know maybe 30 moves and all sidelines. So this is a really complicated variation. It's difficult for both sides, and both players are playing for a win. That's nice. So we are still in the main theory, and for example, I will show this position. This position is interesting because I will tell you what's going on. Watch pawns on queen side. 2 against 1. That's the main black's plan. Just to go forward, b5, a5, b4, a4, and so on. And of course, this is the basic counterplay for black. Yes, at the other side, white is still strong in the center, and he will do his best to push his pawns to e5, d5, f4, and to win something in the center. That's exactly what's going on if you are playing green file defense. Let's come back, and I hope that you are enjoying this video. So if yes, feel free and press like and bell and press follow. Thank you very much. Let's come back. We are exactly here. Last move, what we saw, it was bishop to e3 and bishop to g4. Another variation. As I told you, hundreds and hundred variations need to be known if you are playing green file defense, but don't be surprised that even Magnus or Pragna, they know everything. So rook to c1 makes sense. In case black is taking just now, just watch this rook, because this rook is immediately in the open file, and that's exactly what you need to remember. Rooks love open files. So right now, black is not interesting to take on d4 immediately, because yes, black is not interesting to help white to play in open files, and he played short castle. Why not? Bishop to e2, and of course, white need to go for short castle as well, because short castle is important for one big reason. In case you are playing short castle or long castle, you are going to bring your rook to game, and this is important to remember, that not only your safe position of your king is important, but at the other side it's important to bring all pieces to game. And sometimes rook on h1 here is not doing anything special. So short castle is a plan to bring another forces to game. Black played into a5 and immediately is going to attack c3 and a2. Yes, if you see this position, I'm sure that you understand that these two pawns are weak pawns, and one of the best plans is to attack opponent's weaknesses. So Magnus Carlsen played queen to a5, and he is going to attack these two weaknesses. And of course, he's asking white how he will save these weaknesses. So one variation is going first, then I will show you how Magnus Carlsen played this position. So variation or opening book will tell you the best move maybe is queen to d2. Yes, of course, you are going to save both pawns, and knight to c3. So looks like more and more fire, more and more fight, because another attack is on d4. Black will play rook to d8, rook to d7, and one more time he will press white's pawn formation, and white need to be careful, because if white's pawn's center is going to be broken, everything's bad. So what's important for white to it's to hold is to keep center as much as possible together, and believe that this is exactly his way to play for that advantage. So maybe d5 here makes sense, but one exchange and a rook to d8, e6, and if I told you it's only variation, but both players are doing their best. So black is happy because he got this open diagonal, and this is exactly amazing piece. You know, this is exactly one of the biggest reason why I believe that green flag defense is an amazing weapon for black. At the other side, you know, still here is a d5 pawn, which is very strong, and it's not far from a d8. So both players are playing for advantage, and you know, even this position looks like even or level. It's up to both players how they will play this position. Let's come back. This was only variation, and it's not important to speak about hundreds and hundred variations in a green flag defense. It's important to watch this game, and Pragna is going to for castle. So he's losing pawn. It's a big now issue if white's got enough compensation or no. Yes, Magnus Carlsen is taking pawn and his pawn up. His winning plan one day is to go for a1 or b5, b4, b3, b2, b1. So yes, the winning plans or plans to find any advantage is to push these two pawns. As you know, these pawns are the biggest weapon or the biggest compensation for black, because white still own a center, a d5. Or maybe it was interesting to play a rook to b1 and immediately to attack this pawn on b7. Say, I will show another variation, but I will not show you all variation because this is impossible. Black should play move b6 or maybe something else. Okay, not this move, because this move is a mistake. But black should take on d4 and now b6. Makes sense this position, because as we saw, rook to b1, it's not on open file. Let's come back, as we know that now it's not good for black to take on d4, because just to take immediately on d4 here, sorry, say I will play move like for example maybe rook to e1, and if black will take here, exactly that's what white is looking for. He is looking for maybe rook to c7. He is looking for active play over open file, and that's exactly what black is not interested to do. So he is not taking on a d4 in case rook is on c1. But in our variation, say maybe rook is going to b1, so rook left open file, so let's open this file and b6, and because we know that rook belong to open file, just come back, jump to c1 and enjoy the open c file, and maybe here at the end it will be some kind of compensation for a missing pawn or some kind of advantage. Maybe this is a level position, but still it's interesting, and I hope that you agree with me that this is a fighting position. You know, both players are playing nice fighting chess, and this is not a boring chess. This is an interesting chess where if you love chess, you should enjoy this position. Let's come back. This was only variation, and here white played move d5. You know, this is a move, it's looking nice because you're going forward, but this bishop is much more powerful now, and this pawn on c3 is much more weaker. Yes, what to play? Knight to d7, it's a good move because black is going to bring another piece, say knight to game. And it's important to remember that you need to play with all your pieces, not nearly with all pieces. So h3, and now Magnus Carlsen, yes, has no option than to take knight on f3. So at least a first sight of compensation because white is enjoying two bishops advantage. Yes, it's a big question if this is enough or no, because this pawn is weak, this pawn is another weakness. This piece is not a smiling piece because it's a little bit in danger, and still black has good plan to play b4, b5, b4, a5, a4. So it's up to you if you believe more in black's position or white's position. If it's up to me, I believe more in black, but maybe I am wrong and you will choose white's position. Black is going back, and now maybe it was better to go to d3. And why? You will see exactly in our main games. So white played queen to d2 and c4. c4 is interesting move. Why? It's hard to take this pawn because yes, if you are one pawn up, it's a good idea to give back this pawn for maybe bigger activity or counterplay. And one tempo is going to attack this pawn or this bishop, and exactly here black is going to attack 3 times, maybe important c3 pawn. Say, I hope that white will go back to e2, and I think that this position is nice to black because what I believe is that a winning plan is to play one day b5, b4, and one more time a4, a3, b3, and move by move. Black is playing nearly a winning position. Say, yes, of course, it's fair to say that black is winning or white is losing because at least of these two bishops, these two center, these two pawn center, but if I have chance to choose a side, I will pick up black's position as much more favorable position for me. So now after move c4, white played queen to b2, b5, and of course just go on and just push your pawns. This is a nearly best plan if you can push your past pawns and enjoy their power. So f4 was another option. I think that yes, if you are going to watch that your opponent is stronger on one side of the board, you need to be stronger in another part of the board, and maybe here white should push his center pawns as much as possible, because if you are doing nothing, you are losing. So variation of, for example, rook to d1 and e5. Looks like a5, b4, a4 is a big threat. But at the other side, this pawn formation, the center, it's at least a compensation or at least a counterplay. Two bishops should be a strong bishops. For example, at this position, it's maybe looking critical. But at the end, maybe it's not too bad. Maybe this variation will tell you that nearly every position at the end is a draw here, but it's very hard to see all this variation. It's very hard to count all these positions and to understand what's going on. And don't blame these two players that they are playing something differently, because they are super strong grandmasters and they are chess star, and I will never ever play such a great chess as these two players are playing. So white played nice move rook to a1, and he lost a pawn. So he won a pawn, but this c4 pawn is a danger pawn to white. It's a on c4 square, so not far from c1. And as we are going to watch these two pawns, as you can understand that one of them one day will be a queen. So that's exactly the simple plan, to push your passed pawn as far as possible. Knight to b6, rook to c1, queen to f6. Yes, looks like these two pawns are under attack. For example, it's not exactly funny to save these pawns. So immediately white went to g2, c3, f4, and e5. So, okay, um, white lost the center. I think white lost any chance for advantage, and I'm sure that black's plan is simple, just to push black's pawns as far as possible, and if you can, sorry, if black can, he could attack white's weaknesses. Where is a white's plan? Where is a white's advantage in the center? Only white's got is two bishops advantage, but maybe it's not enough. And Magnus Carlsen, it's an amazing chess player, and if he get a chance to play for win, he's playing for win. So e5, of course, not bad at all, because white is going at least locked bishop on g7, but Magnus Carlsen is going knight to d5. Immediately he is going to exchange one of these bishop to g4, check, and queen to a2. I think that this position is lost for white. How is possible to say that this position is lost? Just see what's going on. At this c3 or a7 pawn, it's a huge threat. At the other side, this king is a weak king, and black is absolutely happy. I don't see any weaknesses. Of course, I see this bad bishop, but it's a chance to bring this bishop back to game. But I'm really missing white's counterplay. I'm missing white's plan, and I'm sure that in top level this position is lost. So what's happened? Rook to f2 and queen to a3. Another piece is under attack, so rook to c2, rook to b8. You know how nicely black's position looks. One rook went to open file, and of course another rook is going there sooner or later. So one tempo and another nice move. Queen to g3, h5, h4, and rook to d8. Both black's rooks are much more stronger. They are exactly where black love to see them. On open files, they are going to attack white's weaknesses, and what we should enjoy black's victory. Okay, now bishop to d5 happened, and now black missed first winning chances. Rook taking c2 is a winning. Why? It's a check here, and queen to d1. It's a nice move. Check on d2, and this pawn is a winning pawn. It's really hard to stop this pawn. For example, here is a check on g3. 1, 2, 3, 4 pawns are falling down, and black is winning. Nothing to play, The biggest white's problem is a missing counterplay. Missing counterplay is a missing victory. So, okay, Magnus Carlsen missed first winning chance. He played safety, queen to a5. He's going to attack this d5 bishop, and of course e4, check on b6, and now queen to e3. That's game over, because check here, pawn here, here is a under attack, c1 rook, too many pins, too many problems, and hard position. Another missing chance was here, take, and rook d5, and check on e4, and of course rook on c2 is fall down, is gone. So that was another winning chance, but don't worry, Magnus Carlsen know exactly that he is winning, and he is winning exactly here. On only the last resistance, the last moves are here, but nothing to play here. Check and game over. So we saw nice victory of great Magnus Carlsen. At the other side, we saw another game of future chess star Praggnanandhaa. So both players played well, and I hope that we saw interesting chess games. So if yes, feel free and press like and press follow and bell and made my day. Thank you very much. I hope I'll see you soon in our another YouTube chess video. That's all for now. So see you soon. Take care. Thank you and bye bye.